right, so the age-old question.
Oh, God.
If someone presents you with a button, and if you push it, you get $1 million, but by pushing it, you sign a legal binding contract that says you have to fuck Roseanne Barr. Do you
I do it 100%. Have you seen Roseanne Barr now?
No, I haven't.
She actually doesn't look too bad.
Okay.
In post, maybe I'll put a picture up of her. She actually is she's like thin, has blonde hair. Like for 60 whatever years old, she actually looks pretty fucking good. She was on Joe Rogan like 2 weeks ago.
What if it was that Comedy Central show from a while back, like Strangers with Candy, about that old lady in high school?
For $1 million? Yeah, there's not much I wouldn't do for $1 million. To be quite honest with you, you're talking about fucking someone like.
Well, I just didn't want to go with someone in the world dies.
It's really funny because I was thinking about reversing it and doing that to you and going, someone dies, but it's someone you know. It's not just a random person. You're set for life.
Do I get a list of people I can choose
nope,
from?
You don't get to choose. You do not get to choose, but it's someone who you've had it could be the store clerk that you see every other day.
$1 million, or I'm set for life. Because there's a difference there. You could blow $1 million.
Yeah, let's say you have an unlimited bank account.
Sure.
Okay, but it could also be your girlfriend.
If I was set for life, then I could take care of the child for life too. It's not like she'd be out on the ground.
Could be the kid.
That's true. Do I get in trouble at all for this?
All right. No one whoever gives you the button is not going to say anything, but you have to live with that on your conscience.
Sure.
For the rest of your life.
Sure.
Really? Even if it was the kid?
But you said it might not be.
May not be.
Yeah.
But it's possible.
It's possible. But sometimes life is a gamble.
You'd hit that button. You'd hit that button.
Wouldn't you?
You probably.
Yeah, see?
I don't know. I thought about it. I don't know.
Like
maybe
this.
not. I don't know. That was like I was thinking about that and I was like, what the fuck would I do in that situation? Like, and because you think about it, like anybody in the world, like the odds are pretty good it's not going to be someone you know. But when you're whittling it down to just people that you deal with on a regular basis.
Well, I know a lot of people.
Like, that's true. I mean, you do know a lot of people. So I thought about that. I'm like, all right, I see the same, like, quick check person every day when I go, and I see the same people. I go to Dunkin' Donuts. They know my order. Like, could be one of those people, though.
So you're just condemning a Dunkin' Donuts person that you'll never see
again?
Possibly.
Or it could be my mother, or my brother, or my nephew, my niece. It could be any one of those. So I don't know. I don't know if I could live with myself if I wound up being like with someone from my family. That I don't know. I don't think I could live the rest of my life with that.
Well, you'd have a lot of money to kill yourself with.
That's very true.
If you couldn't live with it.
That's very true. I could find some very inventive ways on how to kill myself. Yeah. With that kind of money. Or at least torture myself for the rest of my life.
There you go.
Yeah, that would be a rough one. Anyway, that was actually a good question for our new, for what we're talking about today. So we went and saw a movie. I saw it for the second time. Mike saw it for the first time. We finally got Mike to go see the Joker. You know, just got done with that. Now we're going to discuss our feelings and whatnot. I've obviously had a lot more time to reflect on it since I saw it, a couple weeks ago when it first came out. Which it took me a long time to reflect on that movie. When I came out of it the first time, it was weird because like normally even with dark movies I have an opinion and I loved it when I first came out of it the first time, but like there was no joy. I just was like everything was solemn. I was just kind of like, huh.
It's kind of how I feel about it. Like I really don't have any feelings about it. It wasn't a great movie. It wasn't a bad movie.
You don't think it was a great movie?
It was just a movie to me.
See, for me, I don't know. With all of what they did in that movie and what they were speaking to, and what the types of things that they were trying to do and get across, like it hit me really hard. Like I took I mean, the whole night, I wound up doing a shitty review of it, or just me recapping the movie and a couple of my thoughts on it and stuff. But like, it took me all night. I couldn't do it that night because couldn't wrap my head around a lot of it, or I needed time to process it. And even I tried doing it in the morning, and like I did like 15 takes, and I just couldn't do it. And it took me all through work, thinking about it all day through work, to like, even at that point, just get some sort of grasp on it. Obviously, it didn't hit me the same way the second time around. Especially because I was like looking for more. I wasn't being wrapped up in it.
You were looking for more giant rats?
Well, I was just looking for like the little things of like trying to figure out whether or not like what parts were dreams, or fantasies, what parts were not, because hey, everyone's seen this movie, so we're definitely going to spoil stuff. Because if you haven't seen it by this point, go fuck yourself. But there was a lot of like, there's a lot of just things I was noticing, like I wanted to see if I could pick apart. I don't know, the whole movie, like I said, the first time it really hit me hard, like, because there was a lot of like, I see myself in that situation.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's definitely a movie that allows you to see how easy it is to become, fucked up.
Yeah.
Or to be pushed to your breaking point, or just snap.
Yeah, and I think like,
I mean, it doesn't help that once he realizes his background, he's a little bit more prone to it because of his history. But
yeah. Well, I mean, especially like the speed, like, because like, I don't know, like I'm a person who I thrive for external validation, and like the whole point of that movie is like he feels like he's invisible, and I've told a couple friends, and I know we're getting into a little bit deeper, but like I feel invisible 90%, 99% of my life to people, like just in my general day to day. So like a lot of that was just like, holy shit, like I could become this person very like under the right circumstances, like, and it's terrifying. That's kind of where like the disturbing aspect of the movie came for me, because it just, a lot of it hit very close to home, just from my own past 6 months, year of what I've been going through. And it was just like, and it's not like I feel bad for him. Like you empathize with him throughout the movie, but like, he's a terrible person. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He is a horrible human being in it. Like, but you kind of, you get what it is, like someone who's kind of felt like he's been left behind by society, or society isn't helping him. Like they're preaching all this stuff. I mean, for a movie that's set in the 70s, or 81, I should say, it's set in 81. Like all of those themes are super relevant today, and what a lot of people are going through today. Like a lot of, there's so much controversy about it, and I think the big thing of that controversy is that it's so poignant, because that movie is so, it hits the mark on almost everything for me, as far as like the message that they're sending, the like show, it mimicking our reality of today and what's going on in the zeitgeist and what's going on in society. Like, I don't know, it for me, like that was more just, everyone was going crazy over the violence, and I'm like,
it really wasn't that violent.
He kills 6 people in the whole movie.
Yeah.
He kills the 3 dudes. He kills the other clown. He kills...
We don't know if he kills...
What's his face?
What's her face, though?
Yeah. Her and the kid, I don't know. They kind of leave that big. I don't think he does. But you also don't see anything. I'm sorry, it's 7 people, and then 8 if she actually dies or not. I don't know. I think that one's up for debate on whether or not he killed her or not, because they hear the sirens and everything, but at the same time, like throughout the movie, you hear those sirens anyway outside his apartment. So like that, I don't know. But he literally only kills 8 people. The only brutal one is his clown buddy who gave him the gun. Like everything else, like everyone's like, oh, the mother scene, like. I've seen that scene a billion times.
That's nothing new.
It's not a new scene.
Especially for psycho movies.
Yeah, and like the first 3 are in self-defense. Like, so it's like, I don't know. The violence was like nothing.
First 2 are in self-defense.
So yeah, the third one he was just like, all right. Which it was funny because...
I'm just not going to let you get away.
If you notice... So he shoots 4 rounds into the two guys. He shoots off the gun 3 times, or 2 times, and then shoots the other guy twice. Goes out, and then shoots another 4 times. And I'm like, oh, that's one of those 8 round 6 shooters. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's obviously a revolver, which whatever. But I was like, huh. I someone else mentioned it, and I was like, let me see if that's accurate. And then, yep, I counted it. It's 8 bullet shots.
I noticed it.
Like,
I noticed it right away. I was
wait a minute.
There's too many bullets here.
There's definitely too many bullets, and he definitely didn't reload in between that. Like, but I mean, I thought it was great. The only real problem I had with the movie was the portrayal of Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think him and his wife were a little too old.
Yeah,
for one thing. I mean, I don't care. It's not that big a deal, you know, to be older and have children. Like, it happens.
Yeah,
but they definitely made them older. But he was also kind of a prick.
Yeah, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that they made him out to be a prick. Like,
but we're also seeing this basically from the perspective of the Joker.
Right. And I think that one thing they could have done, because he is supposed to be an unreliable narrator throughout the whole thing. That's why at the very end you see it, you know, oh, all this stuff is not real, like with him and the girl, and you know, a lot of other people were talking about how, like, yeah, throughout the whole movie, like, the girl stuff was just like, like, I was just kind of annoyed by it, and it was weird. None of it made sense. And then it's like, oh shit, it's all in his head. Like, now it's brilliant. Like, and I was like, all right, that's cool. But I kind of figured that from the very beginning. Like, once he walked out, I was like, oh, this is obviously not real. Like, there's no way that this is like, oh, he kills these 3 guys and just goes bangs her. Like,
yeah.
Like,
well, was it real when she came to his door and says, "Were you following me all day?"
Wasn't. They showed that.
But was part of it real? Like, maybe the answering the door, "Were you following me today?" And then it went differently than it went in his head?
Well,
because
part
of that makes a little sense for her to be like, "Were you following me?"
But
then at the same time, it doesn't.
Yeah, and they also showed the one scene of the flashback of that where she's not really there, and she shows he's just opening the door and she's not there. So my guess is that scene wasn't real either. They do a really good. Someone pointed out someone did a whole thing on, like, how to figure out what's the fantasies in the show movies and what's not, and it's the reactions of the other people. And I looked for that this time around, and, like, if you notice, like, you can tell, like, in the comedy club, when he's first in the comedy club, like, and he's laughing at all the wrong parts and then all that kind of stuff, you could tell that that's a fantasy scene because all the other people,
they're not paying attention.
They're not
getting upset with him. Like,
yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of scenes you could tell with that. So, like, that's how you know the bus scene when they're on the bus. That's a real scene because the woman's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, and just, you know, is weirded out by him. So there was that was pretty cool the way they did that.
I want to get one of his cards.
Yeah, right.
Because I tend to laugh in really inappropriate situations. And I just be like,
I couldn't.
Come on.
I couldn't stop thinking about every time he would hand the card out, or when I saw the card out, I kept thinking how, you know, over at the mall, have you ever seen when they had, like, the deaf or mute people who would be, like, hanging around the food court trying to sell, like, pencils and stuff? They would always have those cards.
No,
oh my god, they used to have them all the time. Like, every, like, around Christmas time, around holidays, when they knew the mall was super busy, they would just walk around the food court and they would hand out cards and be like, "Hey, I'm deaf, I'm mute, blah blah blah, I'm trying to make money, would you like to buy pencils or this or that?" And it was always like pencils for some reason, but for years they would do that. And the moment they did that, I was like, oh yeah, that, like, people actually do that, like, they actually have those cards for those things. But that was the first thing I thought of when I saw that. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, back to the Thomas Wayne thing. Like, I think that I think it was a misstep, to be honest with you. I think making him a dick was a complete misstep. I think they should have kept that character the way he's always been written, as, like, no, he's the good billionaire. Like, he's legitimately trying to help people. Like, because the whole thing with Thomas Wayne is, like, especially in the comics, is, like, he's kind of breaking the cycle of the Waynes. Like, they've done this thing throughout the years of, like, kind of like the Waynes are cursed. Like, like they're old money, but there's tons of issues with their lineage and like all the stuff that they were into and all that stuff. And like Thomas Wayne was kind of like the starting of breaking that curse, and that's why he gets murdered. Like it's all part of that. And Bruce is like, all right, yeah, we're the Waynes, but like the whole point is like Thomas Wayne is the good Wayne, and he is the good person who's trying to do better than his lineage and like leave something better than what he did prior. And I think that it would have been like, especially with the scene in the bathroom where he confronts him and he's a dick. I think that they should have had a flashback to that as well when they were doing the all in his head stuff of like, no, he was actually being really nice to him and trying to, these people were kind of trying to talk to him and be nicer. Just have him be a nicer character. I think it did a disservice because I think it would have been better if he was a nice guy and he was still seeing him as this asshole. Like,
could be, but I mean, it also gives a little bit of humanism to Thomas Wayne. I mean, he's always in the comics and in movies and the animated series and stuff. Yeah. He's always been this larger than life angelic character who does nothing but good. I mean, good people have bad days too, or can punch someone in the face who gets all up in their grill and shit.
And I'm fine. I was fine with that. Like, I was fine with that poor. Like, yeah, okay, yeah. Maybe he was punching him in the face, and they flash back and like, oh yeah, like he tried to grab him, or like if they did it that way, like shit, he whacked him in the face, and like that was kind of it, and whatever. I didn't like him calling like almost like the Trumpism of it, of like him calling everyone clowns and like all that kind of stuff. I was like, that's not really what Thomas Wayne would have done.
I agree. I would have maybe gone a different direction with that. But
yeah. Or like, at the same time, I don't really have an opinion
about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird to me because I was like, that's not the character you make your Trump type character. To me, I get changing it, and it's an Elseworlds kind of like not the same as the lore, but I don't know. I think it was a misstep. I think that one thing, and it's the only real criticism I had of the movie. I think that if they kept him the same in that, to be like, oh yeah, no, people are really trying to help this dude and whatever. And again, he's not a Jesus Christ, I lost the words again. Unreliable narrator character, so you never really know what the hell's going on. So I get like you can take it that way as well, like, oh well, maybe that scene didn't even really happen the way it did, but at the same time it's like, well, you would think they were kind of pretty clear on what the fantasies were of what didn't happen versus what did happen. I know a lot of it can be up to interpretation. What did you think of the ending of him in the White Room?
I was curious how he got there.
Yeah.
Since the last scene was him surrounded by fellow clowns and rioters cheering on. So it's like, did riot crews come in? Did they arrest him? I imagine that in that type of situation, he would have been more likely to have been shot than brought in.
Yeah.
But also the therapist lady, the government social worker, was there. And
different woman.
It was a different woman?
It's a different person.
Oh.
But they made it, he obviously purposely did it to resemble the beginning of the film. A lot of people are thinking that it's like the whole idea is that he's telling or remembering all of the events. Like the rest of the movie is just his memory of what happened up until that point. And he's actually been in Arkham for they don't say he's in Arkham because you see Arkham and it's a shithole. Or so wherever it is, but they're thinking that maybe that the events were being told, or he was just remembering the entire thing, and it was just kind of a flashback memory of everything. And this is actually like that scene is actually like a few years later, or a few months later, or afterwards, and kind of far removed from it.
His hair wasn't green in that shot.
Right. So like it kind of has to be at least at minimum 5 or 6 months later, unless it was not permanent hair dye, which
it's not really permanent hair dye.
Yeah.
Even if it was permanent hair dye, the way he was dyeing his hair would never have stayed in permanent.
Right.
He was dyeing his hair while running water through it. Like, it's not going to work.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I mean,
I've dyed my hair enough times to know that if you get that stuff on your skin, it doesn't come off very easily.
No.
He was just dumping it all over himself.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I mean, disbelief. I can forgive a movie for not doing the hair dye properly.
I mean, that's fine. I'm just pointing out a fact.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are saying like none of it happened, thinking like, oh, really, none of it happened. But then you have the whole thing of him running through the hospital with the blood on his feet and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I thought that a lot of people were saying like they would have almost preferred if just like, oh, if they cut the movie at you wouldn't get it when he's just asking about the joke, which I kind of think would have worked a little bit better if they just cut it there and just credits. Like,
yeah, I mean that could work too, but I don't know. The movie didn't make that much of an impression on me that
Really?
I can be animated enough to be like, yeah, that's where it should have ended. I can see that it could have ended there aesthetically.
Yeah,
would have been cool. But I mean, the walking with the bloody footprints was cool too.
That's true.
But I would have faded out. I wouldn't have gone running back and forth.
Yeah, almost made it look like a Looney Tunes thing. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, that's kind of Joker-y.
It is.
Like I don't know. Todd Phillips was like, oh, this is just not, it's just whatever, we're just using the Joker name. This dude understands the Joker way more than he was trying to play off. Like that whole scene when he kills the other clown and lets the midget go. Can't, just little person, sorry. The little person go. Like that is 100% Joker. Like letting him go, scaring him, and then being like, no, yeah, you're good, you're fine. And then like, oh wait, I gotta do it. Oh yeah, you were nice to me. You can go. Like you're good. Like that's a 100. Like I could see that in the cartoons of the Joker doing that exact scene. Like Mark Hamill's Joker would do the exact same thing in that. Which I was like, all right, this dude really understands Joker way more than this. Isn't just it's a human story with the like. No, you get what you're doing. You get what this Joker movie is, which. I don't know. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. Second time around, I still enjoyed it. I think it was still a fantastic movie. I think Joaquin definitely wins the Oscar.
Oh, he did great. I like the laugh.
Yeah.
I wish there was more of it, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like at certain parts of the movie he can't control it because it's his thing. When it's like inappropriate to laugh, he laughs. But when he finds something amusing, he doesn't laugh like that. He just
right.
But when he's walking down the hallway after he gets the gun from the other clown, and they tell a joke, and he laughs that out loud in the hallway, like ha ha.
Right, and then just
like
stops.
He didn't do any of that type of laughing in the interview.
Yeah, I think that was all on purpose. Like I really actually liked that aspect of it. Because it seems like because I like the fact that like he's trying like when he's uncontrollably laughing and he can't in this weird situations and he's like trying to hold himself and you know whatever. Because there is a switch that happens when he becomes the Joker and there is that switch and it's for me I think
so he kind of like accepts it.
That's what I think it is.
Turn it on and off at that point.
At that point, well, he just lets it happen.
Yeah.
He's instead of fighting it, he just. No, this is me. I'm gonna laugh when I find things funny. Like even in these uncomfortable situations are gonna be funny to me, and I'm just gonna let myself laugh and not be embarrassed by it. Because like you see this whole, the whole thing, like especially with similar to the movie of like him going up the stairs, like that was a big thing. You know, if you notice, he does it 5, 6, 7 times throughout the movie or whatever it is. Like, and it's tough for him and he's hard. And when he's coming down as the Joker, he's super confident. He's dancing.
His eyes closed.
Yeah, like he's and I think that it's like those. That's kind of at the point when he goes, yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna, try to stop myself from laughing at this point. And I thought that was a really good. That was a really good direction to go in.
2 things that I knew were gonna happen.
Okay.
Was he was gonna shoot the talk show host.
Okay.
De Niro. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Although it's a little strange that it happened. I mean, it's not strange that it happened.
Did you know that from reading?
No,
like, spoilers?
I knew it was going to happen. I could just tell.
Okay.
Like,
yeah,
As soon as they invited him on the show, I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because in Batman: The Dark Knight Returns,
he
does
wanted
that.
That's what I kind of,
So I was like, this is a little weird. But I knew it was going to happen. It's a little weird. I enjoyed it, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was there. And obviously, I knew the Thomas Wayne thing was going to happen when he gets shot.
Yeah.
But I was thrown off at the timing.
Yeah.
When he went to go to the bathroom scene, I thought it was going to happen then, when he sneaks past and goes inside and hides, and he was going to wait outside. But then I saw that Bruce wasn't there.
Yeah, they were doing...
seat, so I was like, nope, it's not going to happen here.
They were definitely misdirecting.
And I was like, and they're definitely not going to do a John Wilkes Booth scene.
Yeah,
he's going to walk up behind and shoot him.
No, they did that really well, especially because the whole time I was waiting, I was like, oh, we're going to do another Joker kills them, whatever. And they missed it. Like, no, it was just a random
guy in a Joker mask.
Clown mask. It wasn't him. So I liked that misdirect. And even though I knew the De Niro thing was coming, where he was going to kill De Niro, I like the way they like anyone who's never read The Dark Knight, like they're gonna like anyone else would be like, holy shit, that's what he was gonna do, because they do a very good job of making you think
he's gonna shoot himself.
He's gonna shoot himself in it. And I like how there's kind of this moment of like, you can tell he changes his mind. That was another part back to Todd Phillips Understands the Joker of like, oh yeah, no, he was all ready to kill himself on that show, 100%. And it's like in the middle of the interview, he's just like, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Like, I'm not gonna. I was not gonna tell everyone that I was the one who killed people. I was not gonna do all this stuff. But you know what? Yeah, we're gonna change it up here. And like, that's a very Joker thing. Like, we're gonna change the plan. We're gonna change it on the fly and do something completely out of bonkers and crazy. And like,
I wish that they let us hear what he was gonna say when he grabbed the camera.
Yeah,
because I'm like, really, it took you this long to cut the feed?
Right? Yeah, because they held on to it for quite a bit.
During the end credits, when they're scrolling, you see all the TV screens talking about, that scene keeps going. It doesn't get cut off. He continues to talk while he's holding the camera.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, because they show it in multiple places. And that was where I was focusing on that one, because I was like, oh.
Huh.
Which means, like, just because they cut the feed to the TV doesn't mean the cameras weren't still rolling and recording
stuff. Right.
So really, even if that happened in real life, it would still be recording. It just wasn't broadcasting.
Right. Huh.
So I have a feeling like on the DVD or the Blu-ray, I should say, nowadays it's not DVDs.
Yeah.
Extended cuts, scenes, deleted scenes, bonus footage.
Maybe
we might get that.
Maybe. We might get that.
That could even be one of those things where they do alternate takes.
Yeah.
Where he says different things.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was one of the only things that I looked at, and I was like, I was like, in the corners down there, I was like, all right.
See, because
it didn't get cut off.
Yeah, so I didn't see, like, I'm shocked because I was looking for that. The problem is I also like, I was like, wait a minute, because I saw one of them, but it gets cut off, and because they had it in a couple different ones, and all the other ones got cut off. But so there was one that doesn't get cut off in that.
Unless I was just switching as they were going.
Yeah.
But I think that no, I'm pretty sure that they didn't get cut off in the other ones either. It was just different things that were being shown.
God damn it! Now I gotta go watch it again. Yeah, it would have been cool.
You can go by yourself on that.
Yeah,
one.
Right. I agree with you though. I kind of wanted to hear what he was going to be saying. Like, I wanted to hear more. I wanted to hear him monologue.
It was probably just going to be, remember to put a smile on your face or something. But
I still love that line, that fucking you get what you fucking deserve. Like, I was like, the first time I heard it, I was like, yeah, that's a good line. Everyone's freaking out about it, and they're like, it's going to be a problematic saying, and blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck. That line was fucking awesome. Like, that was perfect for that whole scene. Like, I don't know, I loved the last third of that movie, or the last 20, 30 minutes of that movie, I thought was just amazing. It was just a perfect climax to everything that you see throughout the entire movie. I thought it was great. I still, like I said, it didn't hit me as hard, obviously, because I've seen it and I knew everything that was coming, but like, I don't know, I still think it was it's still a little weird and chilling. Like the dancing scenes were like I said, I was still like uncomfortable watching those.
Like it's almost like he's doing an orchestra, being a maestro, but dancing at the same time.
Yeah. It was weird. It was definitely a choice because it was almost like that was another one of his tics almost, or it was like part of it. Like it just wasn't. I don't know. It was a little weird, and it's still like to me it was like creepy, especially the bathroom when he goes into like the after he kills everyone and he starts dancing, or he kills all the 3 dudes and then he starts dancing. I was like, that's just
that was weird.
That one was the weirdest one for me, but yeah. I still think it was a fantastic movie. I think he gets an Oscar. I think that movie gets an Oscar. I think he gets an Oscar. I think it's going to win every award. Like,
yeah, it was in terms of like it was a very good movie.
Yeah,
like it was very much like Taxi
Driver.
Yeah, and the fact that you had to wait so long to see the transformation,
right?
Like, actually happen,
yeah.
Even though they were building up to it the whole time, but they did that in Taxi Driver too.
Yeah.
So, and it's only until the very end that he gives himself the mohawk in Taxi Driver, and and then goes out in a fiery blaze.
Yeah, it's definitely reminiscent of that and King of Comedy as well.
Maybe that's why Scorsese walked out of the film.
Did he actually walk out of it?
That's what they were saying, but I don't know.
Huh.
Can't trust everything you read on the internet.
That's true. You can't at all. What so Joaquin, since the movie's come out, because originally he said no, it's a one and done, and now he's kind of changed his mind a bit and said like, all right, well, what can we do? How can we keep going with this? You think they should make another one?
No. If they do, they got to go big. It's got to be full transformation, full crazy. He's got a gang, of followers, and he's just batshit crazy, but also intelligent.
Right.
But another movie similar to this one, not at all. It would have to be same tone,
right?
Same spirit of the movie, but wildly different at the same time.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that
even if it was more so like doing like his first heist or something, like a heist, like a bank movie, or throwing in like aspects of the Red Hood into it.
Yeah, that would be interesting. See,
but it's such a different story than The Killing Joke.
Yeah,
and the Red Hood, and
but you could
Batman.
You could also see some of the similarities in it too, specifically in the way they did his origin. They definitely did take stuff from The Killing Joke in there because there's scenes in there and the way he's trying to be a stand-up comic and he's not good at it and like all that kind of stuff. So like that's definitely out of The Killing Joke, and they just swapped, instead of the wife figure, they gave made it the mother, which that was kind of a weird take, but I liked it. What did you think about the whole Thomas Wayne being his dad thing?
That was interesting.
Do you think he's actually his dad, or you think that?
No, I think the mom's insane.
I think so too. Because a lot of people were pointing to the picture, and I'm like, yeah, but like...
Or when he's like, but look at us. And say, well, the two actors, they could be somewhat related, I guess. They look a little bit alike, but... I mean, it was a good twist. If it was true...
Yeah.
Then I would want another movie exploring that.
Yeah. I know...
But I'm glad that they didn't announce that it was true.
Yeah. They gave you, even after like you find out that he was adopted and all that, because you can also, because I mean, especially with the way they made the Thomas Wayne character, like you could definitely see this version of him, or at least Joker's idea of him, as far as we know. We could definitely see him being the kind of person that would have made her sign all these documents and would have put her into an insane asylum and would have
to protect
himself. I hope that's not the case. I really don't want them to be related. Like, I don't want Batman and Joker to be related at all. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of like tired of all the
the different mythos.
Yeah, well, they're just the whole trope of like someone long lost from your childhood comes back and they're going to be the bad guy. Like,
yeah,
I
mean, they did it. They do it all the time and everything.
Yeah,
they even did it for the last season of Arrow. That his sister, his long lost sister, was the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, they always do. Like, if comic books has taught me anything, if a friend or a friend you haven't seen in 20 years pops up, he's gonna try to kill you. If a family member shows up out of nowhere, they're gonna try to kill you. Like, every single superhero has one of those people, multiple of those people who show up and do that shit. So I'm kind of tired of that story in general, especially like in the comics. They've done it a bunch recent, like within the past 5 years, because they did a whole Court of Owls. During the Court of Owls, you find out like one of the owls is the head guy who Bruce is friends with, and he's another socialite, and you find out, oh, by the way, he was Thomas Wayne Jr., like, who Bruce had no recollection of or had no idea that he was even there. Like, so it's like, I don't need to hear that. I don't need to see that anymore.
Wasn't one of them like a clone of Bruce Wayne too?
Well, then you have that's the Hush story. The Hush story is he eventually takes like he's a plastic surgeon, he's a surgeon, and he takes over Bruce's identity. Like that, and he's trying to destroy Bruce Wayne by being Bruce Wayne. It's a whole, again, childhood long lost friend Tommy Elliott winds up being the big bad of a story. Like, it always winds up being that.
Tommy Elliott, Tommy Merlin, Bruce Wayne, Oliver Queen.
yeah, right. But I definitely, I don't know. I hope they don't delve any more into that. I hope they just leave it as like, he was just crazy. The mom was crazy, and that was kind of it. Like, I honestly, like, a lot of people are saying that they wouldn't want to see, and they've said like, oh, well, we're not gonna put Batman in any of these movies. I want to see him deal with Batman. Like, I want to see that happen. I don't know if I necessarily want to see him with the Robert Pattinson Batman. But I definitely would like to see him deal with a Batman.
It would be interesting, but at the same time, I mean, Walking Phoenix is so old right now, and the Joker was so old. Bruce Wayne was still a child. By the time, like, something would have to happen to Joker to prevent himself from aging, like falling into the vat of chemicals or something, and it changes his physiology. Something like that, or passes the torch to another person to play the Joker. That's what a
lot of people were saying. Like, maybe the way you can fit it in is just going like, it is. He is just an inspiration for the actual Joker. But I still want to see Joaquin like go up against the Batman. I really want to see him go up against the Batman. And I think even with what they're doing with Robert Pattinson, because that one's supposed to take place in the 90s, so it's like you could theoretically do like a Batman at 22 years old and have because Joaquin's supposed to be like, or that Joker's supposed to be like in his like late 20s, early 30s technically. So like
that Joker was,
like he's supposed to be in those like 30s.
That
doesn't
make any sense.
See, that's the thing. Like when you said, "Oh, he looks old," like Bruce Wayne or Thomas Wayne looks old. You also have to realize, like, what looks old back in the '80s is very different than how people look today. Like that Thomas Wayne. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. You look at my grandparents in their pictures of my grandparents in the late 50s, early 60s, compared to my parents who are in their 60s right now, completely different. Like my parents look like they're maybe in their 50s versus my grandparents who at like 60 looked like they were in their 70s and 80s. So like even Thomas Wayne, you could argue that Thomas Wayne was probably supposed to be in his early 40s, Thomas and Martha Wayne, maybe in their mid 40s at that point, but because it's 1981, they look way older than
debatable.
What someone would look like today. So you could do the same thing. I mean, you look at old movies from the 80s and all that stuff, like 30-year-old actors look like they're 50 years old.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was the exact opposite, too. You would look at 30, 40-year-old actors playing 19-year-olds in high school.
No. not the
not
same.
40, but 30s, late 20s and 30s playing teenagers. Right. Absolutely. Right. So your argument goes both ways. It just depends on the person that you pick. Who's taking care of themselves and who isn't.
But at the same time, those people also looked really old for teenagers. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the thing. So it's like, I don't know. I think you can get away with saying like, oh yeah, Joaquin, because you even say like they even say like, oh, what he says like, oh, what'd you work for him like 30 years ago? He didn't even know, like he may not have been around 30 years prior. If she was working there 30 years ago.
Well, he said that she wrote the letter 30 years ago.
No, she was talking about what didn't you work? You worked for him like 30 years ago. You haven't worked for him for like 30 years.
He said to her, he goes, You want me to keep checking the mail, but you sent him that letter 30 years ago.
No, she keeps sending him letters. That's the point. She's sending him letters every day.
I thought she was waiting every day for the letter to come back.
The whole thing is she keeps sending him letters every couple days or every week or whatever. But she worked for him 30 years prior. So you got to figure he's got to be in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
Like, so you could, I mean, and Bruce is supposed to be, what, 10 years old?
So, I mean, I'm just saying.
10, 15. So, you're saying, like, he could be in his mid-40s by the time.
We're going to watch Batman smack this old Joker around.
I mean, if he's only in his mid-40s, I wouldn't mind, you know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fine with that. On a side note, did you see all the casting for the new Batman movie?
No.
They cast a Riddler.
I saw that.
Which I'm kind of okay with him playing that.
Who was it again?
It was the dude from what movie? He's been in I can't remember his name, but he's been in a bunch of like smaller movies. He was in that movie Fanboys, which was about Star Wars. He's in a bunch of things.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
It's from Swiss Army Man.
Yep, Swiss Army Man, like all those movies.
Yeah, I love him. He's great. And Love and Mercy.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
I think it'll be a good...
The Beach Boys movie with... what's her name?
I don't remember. I didn't see Love and Mercy.
Shit, it's great.
I know, I heard it's awesome.
It's fantastic.
I kind of forgot that movie ever came out.
Who played Rita in the new Power Rangers movie?
Jesus, she's also doing.
Yeah, well, that's who's in Love and Mercy.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Zack and Miri made a porno.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with him being the Riddler.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too.
Kind of upset Jonah Hill is not playing the Penguin because he's out of talks with him.
I don't particularly care for it. If he was the Penguin. I don't know. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to pick anyone to play the Penguin outside of Danny DeVito ever again.
I don't know.
Danny DeVito could reprise his role as the Penguin, and it could be completely different and be more like Always Sunny's the Troll, you know? But like,
yeah,
I don't know. He's got the perfect body for it. That's what it is. He's short. He's bigger. Like, to get someone like Jonah Hill, who's constantly in flux between skinny and big guy and whatever, even if it's for his roles or not, he's still pretty tall.
Yeah.
And in relative terms of the Penguin.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the Penguin.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do camera tricks to fix that out.
Of course you can. But I just don't see Jonah Hill as
because I don't know. Because like, I don't want to see... like Danny DeVito Penguin weird monster. I want to see like socialite Cobblepot who like has a weird grudge against.
It was Danny DeVito could do that too.
Yeah,
doesn't have to be the monster.
Yeah, Danny DeVito's too old at this point. He's way too old at this point.
I'm aware. I'm just giving props to Danny DeVito where props need to be given. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't really have any comment on whoever they got to play Catwoman. I don't really know who she is or where. I'm probably sure I've probably seen her in things. I have no idea and don't really have too much of a comment. I don't really know, so we'll see what happens with her. I don't know. I have to look into her more, I guess.
I mean, no offense to Anne Hathaway, but anyone's got to be better than Anne Hathaway and
wasn't good.
Halle Berry.
Yeah, well, that definitely was not good.
That's not anything against those two actors. It's about how the character was written.
Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. I mean, they're both award-winning actresses, so, like... whatever.
They didn't do a bad job necessarily. But it was just like, why would you even bring her into the Dark Knight trilogy if she was not going to be Catwoman?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm just going to be a thief?
Yeah, and they just give her the ears, like, and I get.
Well, they gave her like the goggle,
the goggles with the ears, like
stuff.
the visor with the ears, and it's like, ah, dude's dressed up like a bat. Like you can't just have like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Give her the leather suit. Like, I want to see the like that. That would have been fine. Like,
yeah, I mean, our best Catwoman was in the 80s or 90s,
and even that Michelle Pfeiffer was. I mean, I don't know. I liked it. I think that movie is way overrated. Like, I don't know. Everyone like loves that movie now. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's so much better than everyone." Like, I think it actually sucks more than I remember. Like, I rewatched it. I'm like, this movie is so not good.
It's very ridiculous.
Yeah,
but that was kind of the point. I feel like. I mean, it was Tim Burton.
Yes,
all those movies were ridiculous.
That's true, and they're all fucking weird and gross and. Does all that stuff, but like I don't know. I don't know. People review like she's a great performance, but like it just I mean it's not the cat. I don't know. It was weird. Like then the cats start eating her, and when she falls out the window, and it was weird.
Gives her the magical powers of the cat.
Yeah, and now she has 9 lives, and I was like, what the fuck is like? And I rewatched it recently, and I was like, this kind of fucking sucks.
I think it really just drove her insane. That's what it did.
Yeah,
but the suit was great.
I mean. It was an interesting.
And the actress in the suit was great.
True, she does give a good performance, as over the top and wacky as it is. I mean, I guess for what they were doing, it kind of works. You know, that whole movie's a mess to me, though.
Which one was it? Was it the first or the second? Or was it one of the other movies where he takes his mask off and it rips the rubber?
It was Batman Returns. Yeah, I was like, that
was so stupid. Like you just wasted a mask just to show someone. Yeah.
Like everything, just to rip it off and.
But like that's how it would have had to have come off every single time, basically.
Yeah, like that.
It's just like, all right, well, every time we make this suit, we gotta make a new mask.
Yeah,
it's just gonna rip off.
That was weird. That was definitely weird. Definitely weird.
So moving on.
Sure.
Joker.
Yeah.
You also had things to say about Jared Leto trying to actively stop the movie.
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't read any of that stuff.
I didn't read too much into it, but supposedly, I guess he was having a lot of issues with. Like he was really pissed. I guess
I would be too if I was.
He
him.
was super pissed. Because
we want the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League so bad.
By the way, there's other information on that too.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. I've been following that one a little bit.
Yeah.
But I also want the Joker cut with Suicide Squad. He's in that movie about like 10% of what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And there's just so much extra material that's never going to get released, it seems like. But
yeah, like David Ayers was like, no, this is the cut I wanted. It's blah, 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 blah.
But his... You know, the way he method acts and the craziness that he went into the character and all the stories the actors have told from behind the scenes, like how annoying he was, how much they hated him because he was such a creep. I'm like, I want to see that because we never saw any of that on film.
Yeah.
So if I were him, I would be pissed too.
So, like, it was even more than that because it was a lot of...
And it wasn't his decision to look like a fucking idiot.
That's like a lot of people are saying, like, oh, this was all... Like, I'm like, wait a minute, like...
You can tell me Jared Leto walked in and said, I want to look like this?
Yeah, no. Like I'm sure he had some say in it.
Because if that's true, then I'm afraid to see what Morbius is going to look like.
Yeah, right? But I guess what had happened was, because they, like, the whole point was, like, he had signed up and they were going to make a Joker movie surrounding him.
Yeah, and Harley Quinn.
And they were going to, you know, and he was going to be in the Birds of Prey movie. Like, all this stuff happened.
Then they stopped.
And then, boom. And then they wound up and then like it was still like no, don't worry, we're still doing your Joker movie, we're still doing it, you're still gonna be involved, don't worry. And while they were telling him that, the Joaquin Phoenix movie wound up happening, which I guess it was originally supposed to be the same thing, but maybe like a different story, but like whatever. But like that was supposed to be his movie, and he was pissed, and he was like, no, blah, 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 and he went to his agent trying to get the movie stopped. He's like, well, I'm walking on all of it, blah, 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 I'm going to leave this agency. So the agencies are like, listen, you guys can't do this movie, blah, 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 and I guess Warner Bros. Like, listen, we're just doing this to do, like, this was the small movie wasn't even supposed to be his one. We're just kind of throwing him, a couple $1,000,000 to just do the movie, and they didn't want it to succeed. That was the big thing too.
This Joker
movie. They threw him like peanuts to make this movie, just because they said, yeah, we can make it for this amount of money, and then.
It doesn't seem like it costs a lot to make that movie.
No, I think it cost like less than $50 million or something like that, or $50 million. I think even less. The movie's made close to $1 billion already, or something like that.
Did you watch the footage of him running through New York?
I didn't.
It was a lot more entertaining than what we saw in the movie.
Really?
Because it's the full shot, full sequence following him down blocks, across,
interesting.
Getting hit by a car, running across the street, running up the stairs, like different. Whereas it was probably like a 2-minute video almost,
right?
Versus the 30 seconds we got in the movie
of him just going down the stairs. That part you're talking about, or are you talking about?
Yeah, but like where he goes down the stairs and then runs.
Yeah,
through traffic
okay,
in the suit and everything. So they showed the whole sequence.
Interesting.
And it's a cool little video.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel bad for Leto, and they're all like dissing him online and everything, like in interviews and stuff. Because like a lot of like the interviews are bringing it up to the cast, like the dude who played Rick Flag, and then he threw him some major fucking shade where he's just like,
I saw that post, and I think I didn't understand how that was so major what he said. But I may have misread it or didn't see the point. I think he just said like this is my Joker or something like that.
No. So the dude who played Rick Flag, I can't remember his name. He's also
the one from that show Hannah
and all the Carbon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I guess he was on an interview and someone asked him like, hey, like, you guys saw him joking. I was like, do you feel bad about like, or you feel like you're cheating on Jared Leto? And he's like, Leto who?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I was like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's not major shade, but it wasn't. I know it was. But it wasn't Leto or Jared who. It was like Joker who.
No, because he specifically said Jared Leto, and he's like, who? I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, come on, dude, you're a dick. Like, you don't. But
like I said, a lot of the cast didn't like him on the set of Suicide Squad. I mean, he sent Margot Robbie a box with a dead rat in it.
Yeah, he sent and I've heard from other people how much of a diva he is, and like,
and how much he gets into the role and stuff.
Yeah, but, and even when he's doing music, he like, I think I've told you before, like he had them rip up all the carpet at Croc Rock on the stage and literally put down new carpet, like spent thousands of dollars to do that. And then he told everyone, the staff, like, no one's allowed to ask me about my movie career while I'm here because I'm just doing music, and no one's. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, I get it, you're an artist and all that, but
he's
like,
allowed to do that.
Yeah, but it's it's diva behavior. Like, let's be honest.
But also,
like,
what do you expect?
I don't know. You're not to be a dick.
I mean, isn't Anthony Hopkins like known as one of the world's biggest dicks to people on set and everything?
I'm sure he is.
But like, these people are not meant to be our friends. They're meant to give us entertainment.
No, I agree. And my thing is like the cat.
I love it when someone is a good person too.
Oh yeah.
But when they're a dick, I'm not gonna not watch their movies or anything like that if it's entertaining.
Yeah, but I think it's funny that
shit if he's a dick.
I think it's funny that the cast was like, oh, well, he was just so this and that. It's like, yeah, but come on, dude. Like, he's had this reputation for years in Hollywood. Some of you have worked with him before. Like, you know that this is him. Like, come on. Like, calm it down. Stop pretending like you didn't know what you were getting into. Like, we get it. You didn't like the guy. A lot of people don't. Whatever. I still feel bad for him. He got shortchanged, and I think we got definitely a Joker. I don't even think it was bad. Everyone rails on it. It was just a different, weird take. And
it was just a different take on the Joker. I mean, if you were to say that Batman, his cartoons, you love the Batman cartoons, you're really going to tell me that the Joker in the one Batman animated series that you like, with Clayface was the detective.
Oh, the Batman, yeah.
The Batman. That Joker is something that you like. No, he's garbage.
He's absolutely garbage.
He's got Krusty the Clown, like three. Yeah. No, he's got like dreadlocks.
Yeah, he's like a Rasta Joker. It's weird.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's going to be versions of the Joker for different universes, different conceptions, like that you're not going to be on board with. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not how I picture the Joker, but if it was good, then it would have been great. I don't care. I don't know.
Yeah.
People get offended too easily. Like, the people that are like, that Joker is so bad, they're personally offended by it. That's why they have such an opinion about it. I'm like, I'm sorry, that offends you? But when you piss off a cook and he spits in your food, that doesn't offend you, right? Because you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you that you are the type of person that gets their food spit in.
Oh, 100%. Anytime it's garbage. His Joker was fucking horrible. It was the worst thing
Or the same people saying Batfleck was terrible. I'm like, shut your fucking mouth.
Batfleck was the bomb. Ben Affleck was the bomb in Batman. But like, I don't know.
It's hard for us to get a good superhero and his alter ego in one person.
Oh, it's definitely tough.
I think Ben Affleck did a good job of doing both.
Yeah.
Just like I think Charlie Cox does a great job of being Matt Murdock and Daredevil. 100%. I think Tom Holland does a great Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
Yeah.
But then like Joker doesn't have an alter ego. No. So it's got to go full in. Yeah. And do we really think that Jared Leto did a bad job of his interpretation of that character based on the characters that was written for him? No.
I think he had a bad script. I think he did what he could have done to try to make the character interesting. It just was a shitty fucking script.
If we had more camera time, it would have maybe worked better.
Maybe. It's possible. It's possible that maybe...
That's why I want to see that footage.
Yeah. I definitely want to see it because they said they had like an extra like 30, 40 minutes of footage, and like they also said that they rewrote the movie, like studio went in and rewrote the entire movie.
It's the same thing. I would love to see the original Josh Trank, whatever, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that we're never getting. We're never getting that, especially now that they're owned by Disney.
The non-recut version of Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see... It's too bad that movies aren't like music. Like, you know, if you wait long enough or you know the right person, you can get the demos of a CD. Like, oh, I have Jimmy World Clarity demo tracks on my computer.
Yeah.
Like, that's a rare thing to have. Not many people have it. You know, But I knew someone who gave it to me. And like, it's cool. Are they great? No. But it's awesome to have demos because you get to hear different versions of songs. They have different lyrics, different, you know, takes on them, different guitar licks. What worked, what didn't. Even the Ataris, they released So Long Astoria, all the demo versions.
Right.
And at one point, they put out a version of it that had like too many tracks to name because there was just individual guitar tracks.
Yeah.
They were handheld recorder demos of him singing a tune. Like so many ideas that no one would be interested in, but he was like, fuck it, I'll release it.
Yeah.
And it was free.
Yeah.
But like, I know that movie cost you a lot of fucking money to make, but you could at least give it to us.
Yeah, right?
What are you going to do with it? It's just going to put it in a vault somewhere and it's never going to do anything?
Well, now that Disney has it, we will never, ever see Josh Trank's original cut of Fan Four Stick. We just won't. They own 20th Century Fox. They own the cut of that movie. They are never going to put that cut out. Like...
Unless they watch it and think it's good.
I mean, maybe. But, like, we were also hoping that with Disney buying Star Wars that they were going to give us... good? Well, just give us the original versions of the movie without it, of the original trilogy. Without all the added stuff that Lucas did. They have not done any of that. And they probably never... They're going to keep it in the vault. Not going to touch it. And that's going to be it. Like... At least as far as I know, they didn't do the re-edits. Let me double check that. But I don't think they did. Disney re-release original Star Wars. Yep, won't release original theatrical cuts. They're just not going to do it. So there's no way, and that's the largest franchise in the fucking world, and you're not gonna release that. You really think it's like?
I don't think. I never thought we were gonna get that.
You know what I mean? Like
I never thought we were gonna get the Fantastic Four cut, but it would be nice.
I want to see.
I'm curious to see what could have been. Yeah. Whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I want to see what his movie was, because he said he's come out multiple times. Like, this is not the movie I made. Like. Yeah, I filmed a lot of this stuff, but like this is not what I wanted to put out at all. this is all because of 20th Century Fox. Like, oh, this entire movie is shitty because of them. Like, I did not want this cut or this version of this movie to come out whatsoever.
This company that sold everything that wasn't sports or news decided what to cut out of my sci-fi movie.
Yeah. But we may be getting the Zack Snyder cut. The more and more that things come up about this, like, they've been really pushing. And, like, a lot of people have been chiming in on it. Momoa's been chiming in on it. There's a bunch of them. There's a whole bunch that were like, yeah, no, we really want to see that. We want this to come out. Like, I want it. I want it so bad. I want it so, because I guess they had they showed Darkseid, that, like, all sorts of shit. Like, and I guess, like, the whole rumors of, like, oh yeah, it's not as finished as we think it is, and blah blah blah. Like,
but it is.
Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, no, it's pretty close to being finished. Like, there's only like 1 or 2 scenes that we really have to fix up, but like it's pretty much done. Like, some of the CGI, like,
it's probably better than the X-Men Origins Wolverine cut that was released before it was in theater, where, like, it transitioned into, like, computer stick figure graphics and stuff.
Well, that's what they're saying. Well, they're saying it's even worse than that.
But it's not.
Yeah, it's more. It's
way more.
But they're saying it's, like, pretty much like that, a little bit more finished than that was. Like, there are still scenes of that, like, where his claws look like. I mean, his claws still look like shit on that original release cut. But, like, some of the other stuff, like, even Smith said, it's like, yeah, it's a lot of green screen and blah blah blah. But I don't know how much of that is accurate, because other people are saying, like, yeah, no, it's like 95% done. Like, they really were only supposed to come in and finish off that 5% when they got Josh Whedon to do, and they wound up do it, like, it's a full 2-hour plus movie. I think it's like a 2.5-hour movie. Like, so there's a lot. They had a whole more scene with Superman, and, like, yeah, no, Superman was kind of supposed to be the big bad. Like, he was supposed to be almost like this, like, he went crazy from, coming back to life, the whole 9 yards. Like, it's supposed to be supposedly good. Like,
I mean, there were so many rumors of Black Suit Superman when that movie was coming out.
Yeah, and we saw him for, like, no, actually, we didn't even see him. Right? He just he was bare chested, which that was super upsetting. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that there was leaked footage of Black Suit Superman from the set. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen, like, yeah, no,
there was pictures of him with a mullet and a black suit, like, but it could have been fan made.
Yeah, which, let's get into that for a second.
Oh boy.
It crosses over into stuff we've been talking about with the Crisis events. Every goddamn week, I see another picture of Tom Welling. Look at Tom Welling don the Superman suit in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it's a goddamn fan made.
Him on the farm.
Yeah, it's a picture of a fan made suit of him in the black suit, or him in this.
No, I haven't seen any of those.
Oh my god!
I'm trying to stay away, but every time I do see it, it's always look at Tom Welling on the set of Crisis, and it's him on the farm in a plaid shirt, standing next to Clark Kent and Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Also, but like one's farm suit, Clark Kent, and the other one is Daily Planet Clark Kent. And I'm like, thanks for the clickbait.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. And every time I see, like, new suit of, you see Tom Welling finally don the suit, and it's never that. I'm so fucking infuriated.
So that's why you got to stop reading these things and just wait for it to come out.
I know. I'm keeping away from all the spoiler stuff.
I mean, like, what are we going to talk about though if we don't read the stuff? But
yeah, well, I mean, we talk about all the shit that's coming out and whatever as we're watching the shows. But, like, I don't want to watch it. Like, I'm doing it hard with Star Wars, especially because supposedly, like, the spoiler leaks that have come out with Star Wars are, like, real. So I'm, like, staying completely away from. I haven't read an article. If I see an article, like, nope, because there's, like, stills of, like, all this shit. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I haven't read anything on it.
Nope. Don't, because apparently it's all real, and it's like, yeah, and people are pissed. They are really angry. So I'm staying all away from it so I don't have to be angry about anything. You can
watch it with a fresh pair of eyes.
Yeah, and I'm usually not too big on like caring about spoilers for a lot of things. But like that's one where I'm just like, you know what? No. Especially with how bad everyone's saying it is. Like I definitely want to go into it with.
I'm not a huge fan of this whole spoiler world.
No.
Like when they were shooting Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like, they had pictures of, like, everyone's trailer there.
Yeah.
But all of those actors said that they hardly ever shot film scenes together.
Yeah.
And they would only get scripts the day of.
Right. Oh, yeah. They had no
because
idea.
they were such a problem with leaking and information going out. And I'm like, this wasn't a problem in the 80s.
Right.
But, I mean, of course, the technology wasn't there for us to have information instantly.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not any one in particular's fault other than technology has evolved. We can get everything we want now.
Right.
You know, I can go on my phone and I can get Flight of the Navigator from 1980 whatever and put it on my phone in 5 minutes.
Right. No, I agree.
I heard that noise.
Yep. Oh yeah, the interesting thing with the Infinity War is like no one had any idea what the hell the movie was even about until they saw it. Yeah. Like they were talking about how like they knew what was going on in their scenes. That was it. Like they had no idea what the rest of the movie was about because they weren't on set for a lot of it. They kept them off set. If you didn't have to be on set for those things, like that was it. You don't get your scripts. You get everything day of, nothing. Like that's it. Or maybe the night before. But like
depending on who you are.
Depending on who you are. But like they were like, yeah, we didn't even know what the hell was going on. 90% like
Cumberbatch got a lot of his stuff in advance because he demanded it basically. Like,
yeah.
I'm not shooting anything if I'm not prepared. And he was like one of the few exceptions that got stuff early.
Right.
But like I mean, and even like the stuff that they plan, like I should say that they plan.
Yeah.
Like Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland always being the biggest leaks, like that stuff's planned.
Yeah.
There's no way that they're accidentally putting these spoilers out there and getting in trouble for it.
No, well, not at all. Anyone who thinks...
Well, that's why the Hulk wasn't in this movie, because he's a spoiler.
Anytime anyone says that garbage, I'm like, what? You have no idea what you're talking about. To think that they're not that calculated in it at that point, Disney, like, oh, it's always Mark Hall and then blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, they're purposely giving that and going like, hey, go and leak out this. Go and leak out this.
I read an interesting
this one.
piece of information for Ragnarok that talked about a completely different story.
Yeah, I didn't read that story until Taika Waititi came on.
I can't ever pronounce his name, so I'm glad you did it for me.
No problem.
Until he came on. And it was going to be a lot more, I guess, like Planet Hulk, Savage Hulk.
Really?
Or maybe it wasn't really going to be Hulkish at all like that. I don't know. It was completely different until he came on, but they didn't drop too much information.
That sucks. I saw that article and I was like, "Oh, what the hell are they talking about?" Like, and I didn't read it because I didn't know how much information was actually going to be in it or not. If it was just
there really wasn't a lot.
That's upsetting because they talk about how like, oh, it was going to be a completely different movie and blah 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 blah, and they didn't tell you anything about what it was going to be. That's lame.
Yeah.
Super lame.
What's going on over there?
No, then we're good. I think maybe it's fine.
What was the other thing? I don't fucking know.
Wah, wah, wah. Oh, did you see Yellow Card is suing Juice WRLD?
Yeah, I haven't heard that song though.
Yeah, it's the same. You know the Juice WRLD song.
This could be a conversation for next week when we have our guest Monkey on the show.
That's right. I totally forgot that. You know what? I was gonna think about that, but yeah, we definitely should talk to him about that.
We could table that one. Talk to Monkey about it.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Juice WRLD?
Juice WRLD and Yellow Card suing him for like $15 million. Like I was like, shit.
Yeah, setting a dangerous precedent. But I digress.
Ain't the first time. I mean, Sting already sued the shit. Like everyone was talking about it, and they're like, "Yeah,
that was a long time ago."
Yeah, they're like Sting sued the crap out of him. He's got like 90%. It's the same song, and he's like, "Yeah, he's got like 90% of the royalties already." Like, what do they think they're gonna take at this point? Like, but no, we'll definitely talk about that. I don't know what time you got on there.
What time do I have on there? On like what time is it?
Yeah, what time is it?
We're at an hour and 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good place to end, I guess.
Yeah, we got.
Nothing
else to really discuss.
Yeah, it's
a light week.
Yeah, it's been a light week. It hasn't been a lot of news. Trying to keep away from all the Star Wars shit and as many spoilery stuff as possible. It's definitely been a light week.
I have not watched any new episodes of the CW series, or I gotta watch the Teen Titans or Titans episode.
Yeah, I still gotta watch. I'm 3 or 4 behind on Titans.
You didn't watch Swamp Thing yet, I assume.
I definitely didn't watch Swamp Thing.
I will rewatch Swamp Thing when you watch it, so we could have a real discussion about it.
Yeah. I'm still an episode behind. Episode behind in Batwoman I didn't watch this week's. I still gotta finish this freaking...
There's too much stuff to watch now.
Yeah, and I still got half a season of last year's half a season of Supergirl and half a season of Arrow to finish. Like, I don't want to watch Arrow until I finish the prior season. I'm just having a time to do it.
Who would have thought that we'd have too much superhero comic book content to watch and keep up with?
So much fucking content out
Cloak
there.
and Dagger got canceled. And I was right. It was not on Hulu. It was on Freeform. I was right.
Yeah, we had this discussion multiple times. It was on Freeform, and then they put it onto Hulu.
But it says Freeform's Cloak and Dagger is now canceled.
Yeah, because it originated.
They may have played it on Hulu, but it was on Freeform, which was a PlayStation channel.
No, Freeform.
Wasn't it?
No, Freeform is what used to be ABC Family.
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Channel 45 on Comcast.
What was it? Something was on PlayStation, and it may have been... I think it was that show Powers, but not the prison show or something. It was like something about Powers.
We went through this already, and we were like, "Oh, what was that one on?" We definitely talked about this a couple weeks ago,
but we never said the name.
I'm pretty sure we did.
No,
it might have been something that we talked off camera, or maybe one of the episodes we didn't release. But we definitely talked about that. But you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember, folks, if someone gives you a button, you should push it.
Maybe. All right. We'll see you guys later. Like, subscribe, share, all that good shit. Later.